What's going on, YouTube? It's James with ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and this is round 2 of the Ocon 2017 tournament. If you guys haven't caught round 1, oh my god, I am watching this old man across the street ride like a freaking one of those things you get at the grocery stores, the carts that are like motorized, and he's just like flying down the street. Sorry, that just totally caught my attention. Anyways. Sorry for that delay. That's just hilarious. He was speeding. Anyways, so yeah, this is round 2, day 1 still, and I just had a big win against a Sylvan Elf army, and then round 2 I have to play against Neil Hamilton, and Neil Hamilton's part of my Team Mexico crew. He's my only American merc. But and I was like, God, there's like. On my way to Ocon, there was a couple lists that I looked at, and there was a couple lists that I was just like, I gotta prepare myself to fight this list. And the thing is, I've actually had games, practice games against Neil with his own list, with this list. So I knew what he had, and I was just like, this is one of those lists that he's undefeated against me, but I gotta play smart. I really gotta play smart, you know. So I was just like, oh man, this is gonna be a tough game. This is really gonna be a tough game. So let's go over what I have and let's go over what Neil has, and we'll get into the game right away. So right here, as you can see, I have my 37 common goblins with shields, bows, and light armor. They have the level 4 pyromaniac with them, Baxter the pyromaniac, right in the middle with the green moon popping out his mouth. And then on the right side, you can see Bazooka the long shot. He is my samurai goblin with the skull splitter, and he's my BSB. Over here I got my wolf chariot, the fluffster, Fluffy the rammer, Fluffy rammer, whatever. And then on the right I have here we go, 2 units of 30 cave goblins with bows and madgets. Over here I got my last round MVP, Crom the idol of chicken. Crom is just, he's been doing pretty good. I think for a while he's going to be a decent addition to my army, because I was really impressed with how he did in round 1. Let's see how he does in the rest of the tournaments, alright? Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I know how he does, but I don't know how many points he pulls in overall, so that's something that I want to look into come into round 5. And I don't know, because I kind of just do the points as we go along. So every battle report I make, I kind of like start figuring out, okay, killed a couple guys here, killed a couple guys there. So I want to see how he ends up in the long run. I mean, it's going to be a surprise for me as much as you. Over here I got the Dragon Rammer. I got my 2 Skewers. Skewers did absolutely 0 damage in round 1. Let's see if they do anything in round 2. Over here I got King Koopa. King Koopa! Koopa, you fat son of a bitch, you. Koopa has been, you know, he has all his new gear out, and he's ready. If you guys haven't noticed, his spider, which is now named Peggy, by the way, Peggy has a peg leg, and so Peggy, yeah, as she got a peg leg, her green stripes turned into yellow. But Koopa has some new stuff, and he's ready to just duke it out with everybody. Over here I got my unit of 30 Iron Orcs with the Rending Banner, as well as my General War Boss Juggertooth. And Juggertooth is right in the center, ready to fight it out. For magic in this game, and by the way, we got what I dub the Twinkie table. I call it the Twinkie table because look at that fence. It just looks like Twinkies. I have no idea who thought, hey, let's add some Twinkies in here, and thought it looked good. But anyways, they could be Twinkies. They could be just like really fucking stale Twinkies is what it is. Anyways, for magic I got Flaming Swords, Enveloping Embers, Immolation, Scorching Salvo, and I got the Ruby Ring of Ruin. As for my opponent, he has a unit of Feral Hounds here. He's a Beast Herd player, for the record, if you guys don't know that. But he has some Feral Hounds. He has his big block here of his Minotaurs. He has 6 of them. These guys suck. I mean, not suck bad, but like suck like to fight. I hate fighting Minotaurs. They're better than me. They're stronger than me. They're tougher than me. Not really. They're all the same stats, but they're faster. That's what it is. It's the initiative and the impact hits just that gets me every time. Over here he has his, I was gonna say Shogoth, his Gore-Tex, his Gore-Tex model, and then over here I got he got a level 4 of shamanism on a chariot. This guy right here, I was going over the points. This guy right here is really pricey. He's like freaking 630 points, but he has the Gore to Beetle, so he has an extra spell of insects, swarm of insects spell. Yeah, he's just pretty beastly actually. Over here he has 2 units of or I'm sorry, he has 1 unit of 36 wild horns. These guys are put together technically, and then he has 2, or no, I take it back, those are longhorns. Those are 2 units of longhorns. One has the banner of discipline, one has the gleaming icon. So these guys, when they ambush, they actually really don't panic, which is kind of cool. I think this is a really smart way to play ambushers, is to have the actual, I mean, I understand the other guys pop on the table and then they can throw their throwing weapons, but for some reason these guys scare me more than the throwing weapon guys, because they're able to actually like do some damage. They're freaking strength 5 T4. That's crazy. Over here, here's his block. He has like 36 wild horns on the table with his general and BSB in that unit. He has a couple mongrels here. He has this big block of 33 mongrels here. These guys are just kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Tar pit. And then he has in the background his razor tusk, and then he has a unit of 5 centaurs. So we go ahead and we deploy, and I believe I just dropped everything first on battle line, and I said I want him to go first. I did this because he has that dark rain item. If I shoot turn 1 at him, I'm gonna be -2 ballistic skill if I took first turn. And the other thing is I kind of want him to move towards me, so I just go ahead and I drop everything like this, and I'm like, let him go ahead and drop. I still keep the center with my, the scenario was Breakthrough, which is the worst scenario against the Beast Herd player who has ambushing scoring units. Mainly because the fight's going to be on my side of the table, and if he wins, he has scoring units on my side of the table. But yeah, I did play like this. I figured if he wants, we have the main problem with this table right now is there's a building and hills in the middle. So we could either play flanks or we could play in the center. And if we play in the center, it's going to be a very tough fight and close quartered fight, really, because of the way the terrain is kind of just pushing us in that one zone area. I end up putting this is interesting. I didn't even think about this, but I kind of see what I did wrong here. But I put my BSB block a little bit off center off my general's block. I usually put them directly behind each other, but I wanted to give myself some moving leeway, because if he ambushes, I have these guys to move. I put my bolt throwers, one right in the middle and then one way off in the flank, and I figure if it dies, it's 90 points. I don't really care too much, but if he charges into it and overruns into my units, that always becomes an issue, especially against beast herds. I put Koopa with the Dragon Rammer, and I figured they're a decent combo. I actually like the combo a lot with the Dragon Rammer and Koopa, because the Dragon Rammer is a little bit more resilient than Fluffster, and Fluffster tends to die and then Koopa will run away. Also, I just like them both together, because then you have to focus on one or the other, and they're both kind of hard to deal with. And I figure if he puts anything on the right side, they'll be able to handle it, unless it's like his whole army. Then everybody's going to have to kind of come over that way. And then I go ahead and I put all my archers surrounding my Black Orcs. And then Crom in the middle next to my Black Orcs, because Crom, we want his buff to be near the Black Orcs. He starts deploying his army, and he puts his mongrels off to the side here. He has his Minotaurs off there, then he has his Gore-Tex. You'll see in a second. He basically puts his units in the middle, like so. He has a couple ambushing units. He put his Centaurs on the right side. His Centaurs were basically going to go for either my Bolt Thrower or for just scoring the objective. So he's going to go ahead and Vanguard up. He Vanguards up his dogs like so, and it's going to start off his turn. Turn 1. Sorry, it's like 9 minutes, and we just got started on turn 1. But turn 1, Beast Herds. So he goes ahead and he moves up, right? Now we have those crosses there because the hill was really bad, and he's going to tip over his models, and I was just like, yeah, we could just leave it like that. But he moves up everybody like so. And he does a really interesting move. As you can see on the bottom corner, he has his hounds right in front of my goblins. I think he did this to release my fanatics, but I'm just going to charge him, and that way I don't have to release my fanatics. The big issue is once I charge him, I'm closer to his charge range of his Gore-Tex and Minotaur. Hindsight's 2020 on this one. I could have done something way differently, but I kind of thought about this obviously after the fact, after I know what happens. Magic Phase, he got 12 power dice, and I'm not kidding. I have shouted out in the middle of this game how many times he rolled double sixes. I'm like, what the fuck? And you know what's fucked up? Is I can't even say, like, oh, he has cheating dice. That's a Dice Dojo dice. That's one of my dice. Anyways, he goes ahead and does Swarm of Insects onto these guys, and it lowers their ballistic skill. It's a freaking permanent debuff. It lowers their ballistic skill unless they charge or march. And that's it. So I'm like, shit. So I really can't just shoot the dogs. They're in my way. I go ahead and let him get it through because I'm like, well, whatever. I'll just charge the dogs. And he gets 2 wounds off. He goes ahead and he gives these guys Chilling Howl in a bubble so everybody cannot be wounded by shooting so much. And then that's about it. I mean, I think he gave his Gore-Tex a plus D3 movement and initiative or whatever it is. Just because, just so he could charge in easier. And it's really hard, especially against like Beast Herds armies, because they have so many totems on top of how many spells they have. So it's just like, Anyway, it's going to go ahead and start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 1. Orcs and Goblins, turn 1. The Goblins are charging in. They're just like, screw these dogs. We'll kill them. 5 versus 30 or 20, whatever. It's 28. We'll win that combat easy, alright? As you can see, I don't charge anybody else. I move Koopa into the water, kind of taunting the Centaurs. I want him to charge in, have no ranks, stuff like that. Maybe take some DTs. I don't know if they take DTs or not. They might be Strider, or they might just not care about water terrain, but whatever. Koopa doesn't care about water. I move the Dragon Rammer. Now, if you notice what I'm trying to do here is I'm having Crom, Koopa, and the Dragon Rammer look at the horde of mongrels in the flank. And that's what I was really trying to get to, with that flank of the mongrels. I keep the Black Orcs chilling back. I don't want to get charged too easy. And really what I'm trying to do is just shoot the crap out of his horde. One mistake I make here, I'm just calling it out right now, one mistake I make in the movement phase here is I didn't move my BSB's unit closer to the unit that's in combat with the dogs. Not that I would lose that combat, I would assume I win that combat, but you'll see why in a second. Right now, if you take a ruler from my BSB, which is on the corner, to the tip of the cave goblins, that's 12 inches. So I am in range. But it's it just sucks. Anyways, Magic Phase got 7 power dice. I'm just giving you guys some foreboding warning here. 7 power dice. I go ahead and I do a ruby ring. It goes off, or he might have stopped it. I go ahead and I do something else. He stops it. Then I use the last 4 dice, and I do a huge enveloping ember onto his main horde. And he tried to stop it, but he couldn't. He didn't have enough dice. It goes off, and it just burns like 16 wild horns. 16! Holy shit. I love this spell. This is my favorite spell, by the way, of like all the lores, because it actually does damage. Holy shit, does it do damage. It kills hordes like nothing, and that's what I wanted. I needed a horde breaker. The only thing it doesn't hurt is like heavy armored guys, obviously, but it reminds me back of the Foot of Gork when I used to be able to like 10 dead, 15 dead, 12 dead, so 15 of these guys, oh my god, it's awesome. He goes ahead and this is basically how his unit looks remaining. We're going to go to shooting phase. These guys are going to go ahead and shoot at them, and they end up killing off 3 more guys. These guys end up going into close combat, just killing his dogs. And I decide here that I'm obviously, you can see in this picture right here, I'm obviously going to get charged by the Minotaurs and the Gore-Tex, right? So I figured what I'm going to do is I'm going to reform into ranks, like so. That way when he charges, I can release the Fanatics, keep him close in front of me, and he's going to hit the Fanatics. If I stayed in Horde, he could avoid the Fanatics by just charging around me. So I go into ranks like so. And it's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Beast Herd's turn 2, and here it goes. He's going to go ahead and charge his Gore-Tex into my Cave Goblins. Well, guess what? I am outside of General's bubble, and I'm outside of BSB's bubble. because I reformed into ranks and it shaved off those couple inches. Son of a bitch! Oh my god, this was like one of the 2 boneheaded mistakes I make in this game. Oh my god, so I don't release any fanatics, I fail terror, I run, and I run off the fucking table. You gotta be kidding me, man. God damn it. That sucks. I would have preferred it if he charged with the Minotaurs and I fled, because at least they would fail the charge instead of getting an advanced move on me. Yeah, as you can see, the terror test. Oh, man. So he goes ahead and he marches his freaking Minotaurs up, which are free to move up. Both his ambushers pop up right behind me. I mean, right behind me. And his Centaurs don't take their luck with Koopa. He moves his mongrels a little bit to face off at whatever. In this game, and I'm just giving you guys a spoiler, I play on this table twice, but in this game, we played the house as just the house, and the base around the house was actually open terrain, so we could go charge around it. The other game I play, we don't. We play the whole base as whatever. But anyways, it was just up to discretion because we didn't know how to play it. So obviously the Gore-Tax fails this charge, the Minotaurs move up, both of the units are really damn close to me, and yeah, anyways. Magic phase, he got 10 power dice, okay? Round 2, first round he had 12 power dice, now he has 10 power dice, and I think he channeled. Alright, he goes ahead and he gives these guys Awaken the Beast, so now they're stronger, or tougher, whatever, either or, right? Then he goes ahead and he gives them Pounding Drumbeat, and he moves directly forward, which is very interesting to me because where he was before was more threatening to me than now where he is at now. He's really close to my chariot, but it's going to be my turn next, so I could actually chaff him up, especially since they're frenzied. He moves over his mongrels this way. I forgot what he did. Oh, the mongrels are shooting, and really that's it. I don't think anything else really happened in Magic. He doesn't have any spells that's really going to be damaging to me. And I think he tried to do a summon, maybe? I don't remember. Anyways, going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Ah, man. So I charge Crom in. Crom goes directly into that frickin' mongrel herd. I move Koopa up towards his Centaurs, and I keep the Dragon Rammer chilling back. Again, I'm trying to taunt him to charge me. I move my Shaman out of the unit of common goblins, because if I get charged by that unit of Longhorns, Neil is the type of player to pick out my character, and I don't. And the Shaman is pretty useless right now in the unit. I turn the common goblins around, I turn the cave goblins around, and I figure Crom's taking care of that side. They're pretty safe. We gotta blast a hole through these guys here. What I do with my wolf chariot is I move my wolf chariot in an angle so that way he charges with his Minotaurs and he's going to basically chaff himself up. I could have done this just slightly different, slightly more angled. This is my second boneheaded move, basically. Magic phase got 9 power dice. I go ahead and I do a boosted Scorching Salvo. I end up killing off only one of these guys. What the fuck? I even used the D3 on them, and I only kill off one. I kill off 2 of his main Wildhorn unit, and that's it. I think I might have done a wound to the Minotaurs, but that was it. That sucks. I go ahead and I do the rest on Flaming Swords. It fails. I do Immolation. It fails. So over here, shooting phase. I release my Fanatics. They're within 8 inches. I release my Fanatics, and what I do is I do it where I throw one Fanatic in between my common goblins and his Wildhorns. So if he charges in, he's going to take the Cownado. Okay? The other one goes through, bounces off the back, and goes back into the unit. And the way I understand it, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand it is if I throw the Fanatic through and it bounces off an object like the end of the table or whatever and still hits a unit or lands inside the unit, it actually blows up on that spot. If I'm wrong, you could correct me. I totally am, and I apologize to Neil if I played this wrong, but that is the way I played it since 8th edition. So I go ahead and I throw the Fanatic in, it hits the unit, it bounces off the back, doesn't die from DT, stays inside, gets hit by the unit again where they're technically landing on it, so he takes 3d6 hits and ends up killing off like 10 of them, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, 7 of them. Holy shit, and then dies. Shooting phase, I'm going to go ahead and shoot all the common goblins into him, kill off a couple more. I shoot the cave goblins and I kill off a couple more. He only has 2 guys left. Only 2 guys left. That's incredible, actually. Holy shit. And that's really all that happens in shooting phase. The other unit died, and then the freaking skewers don't ever do shit. Over your close combat, impact hits, kills 3 of these guys. I go ahead and I attack, I kill a couple more, and I thunder stomp and I kill a couple more. He doesn't even do a single wound to Crom. Crom is just like, Crom is the fat fuck that of all fat fucks. And the one thing I like about this too, the one thing I like about Crom in a tar pit, yeah, the tar pit has 3 ranks and banner or whatever it is, but the fact that as long as I do enough damage, I'm always going to be winning combat. They're going to have a hard time wounding, but the thing is, he creates a beacon of buffs within 8 inches of himself. So as soon as he gets into a tar pit, he's not going anywhere. He's going to stick there, and he's going to just create this 8-inch bubble where everybody gets a buff. I love that. I love that idea of him. All right. That's about it. I don't think anything else really happens. He wins combat. He sticks. He's steadfast. He's right by his general and PSP. He's out of charge range of counter charges. So it's going to start off Neil's turn. Neil's turn 3. Beast's turn 3. So here's what I showed you. Okay. The way I looked at it, the way I measured it was the Minotaurs were in chaffing up his own wild horns, right? But once he charged in, the tip of his Minotaurs turns, and that allows his wild horns actually to make this charge, which I did not expect. Again, if I would have thought of it a little bit better, I would have been able to angle it a little bit better so he just doesn't hit my black orcs. But he charges in. He saw it. He's a smart player. That's why he's on my ETC team, guys. He saw it, and he gets in both units, and now he's going to overrun into my goddamn black orcs. So, he decides he's going to charge Koopa here, and I'm just like, well, Koopa doesn't care. And then he's going to charge his Gore-Tex into my black orcs, and I'm just like, shite. Alright, and as you can see, that's how it looks. He turns his horde to face Crom. He moves his freaking Razor Tusk over. He moves his general or his shaman over because he doesn't really give a rat's ass. He starts moving his other longhorns out of shot range of my guys, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to shoot those 2 guys eventually. And yeah, that's how the table looks. He gets in. Oh my god. And then he rolls. Holy shit, he only rolled 4 on this magic phase. I don't even believe it. I don't believe this magic phase happened. I think he had 12 again. It's just seeing 4. But he goes ahead and he throws up Break the Spirit on my guys here. So they're -1 to hit. Motherfuckers. That's it. So close combat. Boom! Freaking Crom just kills 4 more guys, or 5 more guys. He's going to stick there. He doesn't put any wounds onto Crom. Over here, close combat. Koopa kills 1. He goes ahead and swings back, and he ends up doing 2 wounds. Holy shit. Holy shit, Koopa, you bastard. Koopa only needed to hit. I think Koopa only needed 3s to hit, and 3s to wound, or 4s to wound. And he has poison, and he goes through armor, but at the same time, I just whiffed, and I only killed 1 guy. And it wasn't even Koopa, it was Peggy. Peggy probably killed more guys than Koopa did the whole damn tournament, to be honest. But anyways, I kill 1. He does charge into 2 wounds. I did 1. I lose combat. I stick, and holy shit, was this so important that Koopa stuck. It is so important that Koopa stuck. Holy shit. Over here, close combat. As you can see, he wipes out my wolf chariot. I didn't do anything to that. The Minotaurs are overrunning crooked, so they're just kind of jammed up, which is just perfect for me. This is just, at least they're out of the picture for like at least 2 turns, you know? A turn to turn around, and then the next turn I'll hopefully have something in play. But he overruns like so. Now, I barely have any guys in combat with the Longhorns. His Gore-Tex is there. I decide I am not going to make way. I am not going to make way. I've made that mistake numerous times. My tip of my guys are 8 inches away from the idol. So I'm able to give my guys +1 to wound, and I go extra hand weapons. And I'm like, I just got to go ham on that freaking Gore-Tex. So I end up racking up freaking 5 wounds on him. He has 1 wound remaining. 1 wound remaining. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So close on killing him, and I only kill 1 of these guys. I needed to kill that Gore-Tex. If I killed the Gore-Tex, I was able to free reform and face these guys. Not free reform, but I'll be able to stick on my stubborn and turn and face these guys, and now kill these guys. He ends up killing off 5 of my guys, and then, no. Impact hits, kills like 5 of my guys. He goes ahead and swings and just rips apart my back rank. Rips apart 11 guys. Holy shit. 12 guys. So that was a charge, impact hit, swings from the wild horns, and thunder stomp. Kills a bunch. He doesn't heal. He only has 1 wound remaining. And you know what it was? It was that I had the -1 to hit. Because I had the -1 to hit. Oh, he did heal 1 wound. He healed 1. But because he has the -1 to wound, excuse me, now I got burps or hiccups. Because he has the -1 to or not wound, -1 to hit, I was not able to kill that damn Gore-Tex. Oh man. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. I charged a Dragon Rammer into the flank of these fucking centaurs. I had to do it. I had to. It was one of those moments where it's like I could go help out Crom and finish off that horde, or I have to help out Koopa. And you know what? This isn't the first time the Dragon Rammer is like, I'm bailing you out, Koopa. I'm bailing you out. So he does. He charges in, and he's like, I got to fucking help Koopa out here. The Tornado actually falls off the table, and then nobody else really charges in. So these guys turn around, face the giant clusterfuck that's happening. And I figure what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to shoot. The Baxter joins the unit again, but I'm going to try to shoot everybody with magic onto the Minotaurs and shoot everything into the Minotaurs because the Minotaurs are free. I don't really care if his Wild Horns go into my Black Orcs at the moment, but yeah, that's kind of how it looks right now. And then my other Cave Goblins really don't have... I moved them this way to shoot those last 2 guys. That's honestly what I did. Was I figured the Cave Goblins would shoot the 2 guys that are downhill, and then the big unit of Common Goblins would shoot the Minotaurs, and then everybody else is really in combat. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, Magic Phase got 7 power dice. I go ahead and I do a boosted Scorching Salvo, and it kills those last 2 guys. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't even need to do this. But what was interesting is they actually did 5 wounds onto the Minotaurs, and then killed off a couple of those mongrels. And that's about it. Oh, I killed one of these Wild Horns. Killed one of the Wild Horns, and does 1 wound onto the Razor Tusk. And then that's all for magic. Shooting phase, I'm going to shoot this guy right into his Minotaurs. BAM! Finally killed somebody! Holy shit, the Skewers got some points and killed off 1 Minotaur. And then close combat, the Dragon Rammer, boom! Just takes out the freaking Centaurs. Killed all 4 before they got a chance to swing. And he just kind of winks at Koopa as he does it. And he's like, you're welcome. And Koopa and the Dragon Rammer are free. Dragon Rammer actually plays a crucial role in this game. You'll see it in a second. But that's one of the clutch moves. One of the clutch moves was the Dragon Rammer helped Koopa out. Alright, and it turns this way to face the Crom Horde. And as you can see, Crom hasn't even took a wound yet. Over here, close combat. Oh my god. I'm like, what's your initiative of your freaking Gore-Tex, right? And he's like, I'm going to give you a different picture so you guys don't see what I see. And he's like, 3. And I'm like, alright, my general's going to make way into the Gore-Tex now. He hasn't done it yet, but I still got +1 wound. Okay, so I'm going to give my general extra hand weapons, so I'm going at initiative 5 with 5 swings. I only need to do 1 or 2. I have to do 2 wounds. I have to do 2 wounds, and I roll it and only 2 hit. And my heart is in my stomach like, oh my god, I'm strength 5, but I got +1 wounds, so I'm wounding on 4s, and I need to kill him before he gets a chance to swing and kills more of my guys. And I go for it, and holy shit, I get both off and kill his freaking Gore-Tex. Oh my god, he was like, you are a lucky man. And I was like, holy shit. Now my Black Orcs are free in the front, but I have to face this freaking horde on the side, and he ends up doing like 1 wound. And what happened? Why didn't I turn? Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I do 1 wound here. He does a couple wounds to me. He's still technically winning. And I'm like, I'm going to roll to reform. So I go ahead and I roll. And I fucking fail it. I'm like, well, I'm stubborn or whatever. I passed my stubborn check. I roll it again. And I fail my turn to face his Longhorns. I couldn't even shift over. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. It's gonna go ahead and start off over here. This fight over here, Crom. He finally puts a wound onto Crom, but Crom don't care. Crom's still wiping out these fucking mongrels. Look at that pile of dead bodies in the back. He's just like racking up more bodies. Crom is just a fucking asshole, and I love him. And it's gonna start off turn 4, Neil Hurts. Turn 4, Neil Hurts. He charges his Wild Horns right into the front of my Black Orcs. He charges his Chariot into my Black Orcs, and yeah, that's how it looks. Magic phase. He gets 12 power dice again. Third magic phase, he got 10 or more. One magic phase, he did not. So he goes ahead and he gives these guys fucking -1 to hit again. And again, it's like one of those things where he's giving them either -1 to hit or he's giving these guys armor piercing strength and all this crap, right? So I stopped the armor piercing one. He gets the Bloodhorn totem, which is that the... I don't know what that one is. I think that's the initiative one. I don't remember what he got. Anyways. So he gets in. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm going to lose this combat. He's going to get so many attacks. He's faster than me. He has so many attacks. He's going to be strength 4 because of his banner. And he has, I think, AP1 or AP2. And I go, well, basically all I'm going to have against him is a 6-up save. That's what it was. A 6-up save. If I go hand weapon shields. If I go extra hand weapons, yeah, I might lose a bunch of guys, but... I mean, really, how many saves can I get on a 6-up save? You know what I mean? Like, maybe 1 or 2, you know? I'm like, I might as well try to do as much maximum output damage as I can for those who survive, okay? So he goes ahead and I challenge first, and his champ accepts. Okay, so I'm like, alright, cool. Now, Zod's alive. Since Zod is alive, as long as one guy lives, I'll be able to hold steadfast. So I kill this guy, chomp him, get 4 wounds, okay? Or not Zod, Juggertooth. So... he goes ahead, he does his impact hits, he does his swings, he does everybody, the Longhorns, the Wild Horns, his General, his BSB, his Shaman, everybody, and they have Primal Instinct. They're freaking hitting on 4s rerollable or 3s rerollable, whatever it is. And he does exactly like 14 or I'm sorry, 17 wounds. Exactly 17 wounds. If I would have took hand weapon shield, I would have negated at least 1 to 3 wounds on average. Hey, it's me. I could do a lot more than 1 to 3 saves. I could probably do like 5 or 6 saves. But because I went extra hand weapons, he fucking ripped apart my army without no saves. And now Juggertooth is gonna run. And as you can see, I run. And I actually get away. I do get away. He freaking fails to catch me. I think he only charged with or followed with the Wild Horns. He didn't do it with, or no, he did it with his Shaman and the Wild Horns. He didn't do it with his, or the Longhorns. He didn't do it with the Wild Horns because he knew Crom was about to win his fight. Anyways, over here, he charged into my bolt thrower with his pig, and his pig kills me, but I actually stick on Snake Eyes. I am not kidding. He charged, he did 3 wounds, so that's 4 combat res. 4 combat res. I'm leadership 6, and I roll the dice, and I stick on Snake Eyes. He's like, shit. Over here, close combat, Crom kills more. He is not steadfast. He runs, and instead of chasing, I turn Crom around to face at his general's bunker now, and that's how it goes. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. I'm charging my Goblins into his Shaman, and he's like, because I'll win that combat. I'll win that combat no day. I just challenge and let him kill a champ or something, and he's going to freaking lose big time, and I'll just kill him, and I'll overrun into whatever. But, you know, I'm like... It's almost a 700 point Shaman, you know, and it keeps Zod alive for a turn. So Juggertooth. I told you guys I'll constantly call him Zod on accident, but he decides he's gonna flee. So he flees through the building. He takes a dangerous train or not the building though, the fence. He takes one dangerous train for the fence, and I'm like, okay, well I'll redirect into those Longhorns and try to fight that one out, right? You know, I'll have a parry, I'll have a niche 7 guys going, I'll do some damage, and I'll probably break his steadfast. We'll see how this goes, right? Well, I fail my redirect twice with the BSB reroll, leadership 7. I fail it twice, and I end up having to chase the freaking chariot, and I end up like so. Okay. Well, Crom charges into his general's bunker. He actually sticks on that one. And what I do is I use the Dragon Rammer to charge his fleeing mongrels to just keep pushing them out of the leadership bubble. And they're gonna from there they just keep running. They don't stay anymore. They just keep running, and I get those points. Koopa comes this way because he realizes all this shit's about to go down. And then my goblins face the pig because the pig's about to break my guy over here. So basically that's how it looks. Magic phase, I got 6 power dice. I go ahead and I do an enveloping embers to try to burn off some of these guys here, these wild horns. I end up doing 4 wounds onto the wild horns, but I end up doing the attribute onto the minotaurs, and I kill one of the minotaurs. Yeah, that just shows you the picture that the minotaur is dead. There he is. He's dead. Alright, so I go ahead and I do close combat. He kills my freaking skewerer, but now he's open. My skewerer actually ended up doing 1 wound onto the tusker, so I had to give that skewerer his extra 33 points on that tusker because I did not give it to him earlier. Skewerer. So 85 plus 33. He did 118 points this round. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Alright. We're going to go to close combat over here. Crom ends up impact hits killing 2 guys. Then he goes ahead and he swings, and he ends up killing off like another guy. Okay, he goes ahead and he swings. His regular guys do 1 wound, and then his general goes and does 2 more wounds. So he's done a total of 3 wounds. My Thunderstomp goes, kills off a bunch more. I actually think I win this combat. Let's see, I did a charge and 5 wounds, 6 wounds. Yeah, and he has a banner, BSB, and 2 wounds. I win by 3. He sticks on a lucky roll. He sticks on a very lucky roll, and he's going to just stay there. He also has the BSB reroll. He's not steadfast, though. And, yeah, they're going to stick there for this turn. Yeah, I was up by 4 with fear. He needed like a 3. Holy shit. Let's see. Charge and 6 wounds. That's 4, 5, 6. He did 2 banners. He's down by 4. So, yeah, he had like a leadership 5 rerollable, and he rolls it. Anyways, and then that's basically how it looks. I guess that's it. It's going to start off his turn. Beast's turn 5, I think this is. He's going to charge both these units into my common goblins. Now, as you can see, Juggertooth actually rallied. So he's sitting there just like, hey guys, what's going on? He's just kind of staring like, hey. So they all get in. He charges the Tusker into the side. This is going to suck. Now, I do have my initiative 7 guys, but we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping, to be honest, I'm honestly hoping that my initiative 7 guys kills enough of the Minotaurs before they even get a chance to swing, because that's going to be a big difference. It's going to be a game changer, more or less. And then, yeah, this is a really cool picture. I think this is my screenshot picture. I'll try to remember to come back to it. This is going to be my thumbnail. Anyways, Magic Phase, he got 7 power dice, and he goes ahead, and I forgot what he does. I try to stop it. It doesn't really matter, but then he goes ahead, he does this one, the Blackwing Totem, and it gives these guys initiative 3 to give them more freaking initiative. They're going to be initiative 7 with my freaking Shady Gets. He knows it. He wants to get full attacks. He doesn't want to lose anybody to Shady Gets. Not only that, but my guys are getting +1 to wound. That was the big kicker in my balls, was that when I try to charge in, I would have the +1 to wound from the freaking idol, but I still get +1 to wound because he's in my range. Okay. Anyways, he does break the spirit onto my guys, so now most of my guys are hitting on 5s or 6s, which is brutal. I'm getting a ton of attacks, but I'm hitting on 5s, but I am wounding on 4s on him, basically. And we're going to start close combat. Close combat, my Shady Gets go. They end up killing off one of his freaking Minotaurs. He goes ahead and he swings. He picks on my freaking BSB, kills my BSB. He starts picking out my Shady Gets, kills all my Shady Gets except for 1, and he just rips apart. I mean, impact hits and everything's just, look at this. He kills my Shaman. He picks out all my characters. He honestly picked out every single character I had in that unit, except for like the champ. Oh my god. And he rips me apart. I was not able to do the last wound onto the pig. I am steadfast. My general's right there. I stick on the leadership 9, but oh my god, that was just brutal. That was brutal. Over here, close combat, freaking, I whiff. I only do 1 wound. He ends up doing 1 wound. He's actually winning by 2 banners and a wound versus my 1 wound. I think my Thunderstomp whiffed, and it was not the right time to whiff. So he's going to go ahead and, I'm going to, no. His guy's initiative 0 goes ahead and swings and does the last wound, and he kills my guy. I do Thunderstomp and kill a couple more. As you can see, he only has 2 guys left from the original horde in that unit. His general and BSB are fully healthy though. And it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. I charge my Cave Goblins into the flank of his pigs. I charge Koopa, you fat bastard. I charge Koopa into the flank of the Minotaurs. And I charge Juggertooth into the flank of his Wild Horns. I'm like, you know what? It was probably not that smart, but as long as I could get enough wounds off, I'm going to kill the Minotaurs and Koopa will be safe. And I go ahead and I do enough wounds with Juggertooth. I'll save some lives with my Goblins, you know? This guy over here, impact hits will... oh, I don't have magic. I don't have any magic, and I don't really have anything to shoot at. So, yeah. Close combat. Impact hits. Kills the last 2 Wild Horns. I'm like, yes! Fucking finally. Finally killed the Horde. Alright? And then he goes ahead and he swings and he just rips apart my Chariot. No, actually, he does 2 wounds. He does 2 wounds onto my Chariot. So I'm chaffing his general for a turn. That's fine. Close combat on this side. Koopa rips apart 1 freaking Minotaur. Juggertooth kills like 3 or 4 guys. He goes ahead and he swings. He kills off a bunch of my Goblins. But I actually win combat by like 1. And he sticks. It really does suck for me though, because I mean, like, let's see how many I had to start. No, I think he might have won. He might have won. He did. It looks like 2, 8, 9, 10 guys. He did about 10 wounds. Or did he? Yeah, he did about 10 wounds. I did a charge, flank. I still have a banner and a war banner, and then I did about 7 wounds. I think I win by 1 actually, somewhere around there. Anyways, we're still there. All of us are still there. Nobody ran. All right, and it's gonna go ahead and start off his turn. Turn 6, Neil Herds. Turn 6, he charges his fucking Shaman. That fucking Shaman over the bridge again. Back into my Goblins. Oh my god, that fucking Shaman. I wanted to kill him so long ago. He gets in, and Magic Face. He gets a 3rd double 6. And at this, the last time he rolled it, I screamed it out loud, like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, Neil. 3 times with double 6s. 3 times with double 6 Magic Phases. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. Anyways, he gets off freaking Gnarled Hide on his fucking Beast Horde. Or his Longhorns. He gets Blackwing Totem on his Chariot. He gets Break the Spirit off on Juggertooth. Or Distracting on his guys. Impact hits, kills 5 guys. I have nobody to challenge with because nobody's touching his Shaman. He killed all my characters in my unit. So the Shaman's just going to go ahead and rip apart my guys. He gets 5 wounds off there. And Koopa ends up killing off his Minotaur, which is just great for Koopa because even if I lose, Koopa doesn't take the loss. He just sits there. He ends up ripping apart a bunch of my guys, and Juggertooth whiffs. He whiffs because he gave his guys like +1 toughness and -1 to hit. I don't think I did a wound. I think I did 1 wound with Koopa, and everybody else just whiffed. And I lose combat big. I have 2 banners, a flank, and 1 wound. So I have 4, and he did 2, 4, 6, 8 wounds. So I'm down by 4. Jugs runs. My Goblins run. Koopa doesn't have to run because Koopa's not touching anybody. And yeah, he just cleared me out. And he's like, oh, that was a good game. That was a good game. And I was like, we still have 1 more turn left. And as you can tell, he ripped apart my Dragon Rammer. And he goes, we have 1 turn. I'm like, yeah, it's my turn. Bottom of 6. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. And Koopa, you fat bastard! He's charging the rear of that fucking 700-point Shaman. And he's just like, shit. And if he flees, he's going to flee off the table. So he's just like, fine. We'll see what happens. Koopa gets in. And I'm going to just shoot these guys. It's his last 2 characters. Does nothing. And at this time, they're already saying, dice down. But it didn't matter because we're on the last freaking round of combat. And Koopa fucking punks the shaman. He kills him outright. I think the guy only had like a 6 aboard or something, and Koopa fucking killed him. And it causes no panics because those guys have the banner of discipline, and that's game. Wow, was this a bloody game or what, guys? It was a 44-minute video. That's how freaking intense it was, even though 9 minutes of it was me rambling before the game actually started. But Jesus Christ, was this a bloody game. Oh my god. Anyways, so Koopa helped me rack up some points. The Dragon Rammer helped me rack up some points. Even though the Dragon Rammer went down like a hero, he ended up killing off those last 2 Wild Horns, which gave me the full points of that unit. Which, who knows? I probably would have been able to do it with the Goblins anyways, but whatever. It is what it is. I got the damn points. I guaranteed the points, actually, is more what I should say. He ended up winning. I believe the win wasn't that big. I want to say it was like a 12-8. I'm going to try to look it up really quick, but it was a pretty he won just because he got Juggertooth. If he didn't get Juggertooth, my Shaman or my BSB, the game would have went differently, and I would have had a huge victory on him. But the fact that he picked out all my characters, because a lot of my points are in my characters, he picked out all my characters, and he basically just took it. Let's see, events. And there's a Shy Ambulance, guys. It can't be a ChiHammer video without an ambulance, because Chicago is so goddamn violent. Alright, let's see. I'm going to War Score. I'm going to pick out my own name because... What happened? There we go. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. I just realized that the last 3 tournaments I went to, I got 6th place in all 3, so I'm in 666. Yep, 666. That's crazy. Alright. Okan. Oh, shit. I should have just... I was fine there. There we go. Neil. I got 9 points. I got 9 points out of Neil, but that's also including scenario points, which were objective points if you had controlled a piece of terrain or whatever, and my Goblins were on the hill. But he ended up getting 18 overall with all his extra objective points, so he got a shit ton of points. MVP. Let's look at my points really quick. Now, truthfully, and the points should be popping up on the screen right now. Truthfully, the Black Orcs took 655, which is pretty impressive. Baxter took 689, which is impressive. Crom took 438, which is still impressive for what... It's still more than what Crom is worth. Crom died, but took more than his value, which is great. And so did the Dragon... No, the Dragon Rammer took just under his own value, but he's still worth more than what he's worth at the moment. But the big MVP right here is the fat bastard himself, King Koopa. King Koopa! You know, before, when I was doing the add up the points on this video beforehand, I was like, man, Koopa really isn't pulling in many points. You know, the Centaurs are only 100 and something. The freaking other guy he killed was like nothing. And then at last turn, killing his Shaman, that was huge. And just pushed Koopa up a ridiculous amount of points. And Koopa, you fat bastard, it really was the assist by the Dragon Rammer. The Dragon Rammer did 2 heroic things: killed the frickin' Centaurs to rescue Koopa, and it killed the rest of the Wild Horns. Dragon Rammer got my 2nd place overall on this game, MVP, and Baxter really was just nailing people until the end, until he died. But yeah, I gotta give these guys a lot of credit. They were really good. There was a couple things I could have done differently, obviously. If I would have went hand weapon shield, I would have been stubborn and been able to help my guys out ahead of time before the Minotaurs and everybody else got in and stuff like that. And if I was able to pass either my turn, my combat reform check, or if I was able to pass my freaking my other thing, my freaking my redirect into his Longhorns, the game would have been different. The main fuck up, I think, honestly, and this is what I told him after we finished, is if I didn't run with those Goblins in the beginning and let those Fanatics out, they would have done enough damage to create a different game. The game would have been, I mean, you saw how many bodies were left on the table. There wasn't many bodies left at all. So if my Fanatics would have done some damage, the game would have went totally different. So it was a very bloody game. I'm okay with the fact that I walked away with 8 points. I do feel like I'm still in a good spot to get back up and catch up on a lot of points, but I have to table my next opponents, and we'll see how that goes. Anyways, guys, so you got my MVP, you got my everything else, you see my points. Guys, I'm going to Salamanca, Spain for ETC, but I need your help. If you guys could donate anything to my channel, $1, $2, $5, $10, or whatever, please go to my Patreon, sign up, and not only that, but I'm going to start giving away painted models, or might paint one of your banners for you to some lucky Patreon patron. So if you guys sign up now, I'm gonna start doing this a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of whatchamacallit, how do I put this, like a randomized, where I pull a name out of a hat or something like that. But one of you guys on Patreon, and you know what, that's how I should do it. I want to make it up in the long, you know, I'll go over the details later, but I'm thinking about the more that you donate to the channel, you might have more than one chance to win a painted banner or painted model or something like that. So anyways, sign up to my Patreon. It'll help me get to Salamanca, Spain. Looking forward to get you guys some content out there. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, and guys, I gotta get to my workout. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm sorry that it was an hour long, but you know what, I know how you guys are, because I am the same way. I'm painting my models. I like to put on a battle report this long because it gives me something to do while I'm painting my models. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.